Hi friends, I'm going to talk about grid view today. So it's one of the most common use case. I have created this grid view using HTML, CSS and TypeScript in vuejs framework. So I'll just show you the grid view, then I'll explain how I created it. So So this is the grid view I was talking about. So it has page indexing, it has filters, but so if you use a third-party grid, it has some other more features as well. So here I have integrated AG grid. So uh, there is no wrong like using other third-party libraries or anything. But the thing is that if you use third-party libraries, your application will become heavy and you have like less control over the grid, like whatever the grid the grid provides, that much feature only you can use it. But if you have created your own custom grid or anything, like you can add more features to it, you can extend it, and like you have written it, so like how it goes, how the flow goes, all details will be right. So so here so it's all about, that's all about the grid part. So just like about like how a grid loads. So I think like most of the people will be knowing, but for those who have not created a grid, so I'll just explain how the grid data get populated. Like you need an API that has to provide the data. It can be hard coded data inside your code, or it can be like a RESTful API. So it should provide a set of data. So here I need an array of object. So that should look like this. So I can get that API and a response and bind the data in the grid. So this is my RESTful API. Okay, so it will give me an array of object like in this format. So that data I have binded it, like binded like this. So now I'll go to the viewer and I'll show you like how the code, how the table I created and what and all. Like here and all, like you can see some styles and this particular like alternative rows having different colors. So how you can implement those things I will show you. Okay, so here you can see like table. So table having like t head, and it is having like a grid header array. So from there all the table headers are being populated. So this is our grid header array. So it has name and display name. So this is what we see in the grid header. And tr will be having like a different td. So basically it is like a row and columns. So these all the values will be available from the API. So that's what we are seeing it here. Okay, so so if you see the inventory details API, so these all things we are calling in the created hook itself. So when the pay component loads, at that time itself I need to get all the data. Okay, so before going to the data part, so let me show you some of the CSS part, like how you can give like alternative colors to the grid row. So it's very simple, like you can do it from the, like you can check the index while like while you're looping the rows. At that time you can check the index, and based on the index you can identify whether it's a even or odd, and you can set the style. That is one way. And another way is like very simple, like using CSS itself. You can add that, like if it's a even, you will come to know like nth child is of type 2n, then it's a even, then just give this background color. It's a 2n minus 1, then just say odd, then just give this color. And in these two way, like greater than star means like all items in that particular element. If you give like a specific element, it will give that particular color to the all the elements in that particular row. So that's all about the coloring. But yeah, another thing is like you are seeing like If you hover on a particular item, it is just beating like a heartbeat. So there is like a animation you can have it. So this I have seen in like one of the Udemy codes. So you can just use the pulsate. So it's basically an animation. You can give any name. So you can mention what should happen at each like 0 to 100 percentage level. So basically you're just scaling it little bit up and just going to the normal. You can, whenever you hover it, you just give that animation and just do it infinite. So once you move from the hover, it will go. So that's all about, and you are giving the, once it's active, you are giving setting some styles. So, and this will be like icon disable. So this you have observed, like whenever if it's in the first row, it is, we are setting this icon disable, but that part I will explain later. So this is the style we are using for that. So that's all about the CSS part. So now let me go to the data part. So now like see here, we are populating the data from this get rows computed property. So like as you know, like the API will be giving you all the set of data. Like suppose you have 1,000 data, you will be getting it as in a single set. So it depends how you are populating it. So here there are two way, like some way, like based on the page index changing, you can load the data. So in my case, like here I am just loading all data in a single stretch, and from that array only I'm just displaying it as a uh, different set of chunks. So basically like different page indexes. So for that, like you need to decide like how many elements, like how many rows you want to display in a page. So I decide like I'll go with 10. Okay. So 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 this is our get rows method. So like so for, you need to have like it, like you need to slice the data based on the indexes. So for the first one it will be like 0 and 10. So next one it will be like, so based on that, like once you move to the second page, so it will be like from 2 minus 1, it will be like 1 to 10. So it will slice from like 10 to like so what will be the start, like 10 plus this 11 steps, so it will be like 10 to 20. So like that, 0 to 10, 10 to 20, like that it will form the set of data, and you will be having all the data in like different sets. Okay. And here we are giving a filter for that already loaded data as well. So here you can write the name, and it will just filter based on that name. So this will just filter, and to check if it's there, then it will return. Otherwise it will to 800, it will be returning the data. That's all about binding the data part. Now I'll go to the pagination section. So here you can see like we have a next and previous button. So when it is at the last item, we are disabling it, and when it is at the first item, we are disabling it. So for that we have a computed property, previous disabled and is next disabled. So as I mentioned earlier, so the icon disabled class we are calling if the for the condition for is previous disabled computer properties, if the current page is 1, it will return true. If current page is the last one, it will, this will return true. So I can just show you that point. So if current page is the last page, if this will be true, and if it's 1, this will be true. So number of pages, if you see, it will be telling the total number, like okay. Now that part is clear, this part is clear. Now we see how we do the page indexing. Okay, so page indexing, I'll show you one more approach. So you will come to know like why we need to go for this particular approach. So now as like okay, so here I have put a particular filter that say data is not loading properly. Okay, so I removed the filter, so all the data got loaded. Okay, so here now you can see like all see I have like 6 set of data, all data is being loaded here. So see, suppose you have like many set of records, so it's not a good idea to keep all the items from the just if you just display based on the number of pages you like you want to display. So basically what is happening here is like here you are just uh, get number of pages, so it will just tell how many pages are there based on the total number of page you want to display and total number of records. So and that number you are just looping in a for loop, and it will be like just basically that 1 2 3 just a for loop with numbers, so it will just give that particular index in that order. So so now the thing is that if you want to display like only 3 rows or 4 rows or like we have here number of pages with limit. So here I am just displaying only one particular item, and this will be the first item and this will be the last item. So or you can make it like 4, like 5, whatever the way you want. So in that particular approach, like now like you have control, you don't need to worry about the whole space is going to be used by the pagination part. So let's see how we can implement that part. So as I mentioned, so this is the computer property we have used for that. So today I searched about this issue in many blogs. So I've seen like different blog posts, different approaches for this one. So I just followed many of them, and I used like best I've seen from 2 3 posts. So basically, like you need to know like how many pages, what are the total pages you have, and what is the current page, and what is the count, and how many pages to show, and you want to form pagination array. And so suppose you like in this in our case like you want to show only the three items including first and last and one item. So here it will be like 3 minus 1 2, so it will be like to show 1. So here it will be like it will form an array with it's an ES6 index. It will fill an array. It will be like array of 0 0, like two indexes it will fill. Like and then you see like our current page, suppose if it's in first index. Okay, like first page it will go to this particular condition. So we will set the like a 0 pagination array of 0, first item as 1. Then we are forming a customized array, and then we are returning that customized array. So as I mentioned earlier, so in this page in this type of pagination you need to return an array that will be having whatever the value you want to display it over there. So we need to display like 1 2 6. So here it will be like so like value dot index. So like it will be like 1 plus 0 1 plus 1. So it will be like 1 2, then we are pushing one more item, so it will be like 1 2 6. So the array will be having 1 2 6. So suppose like if you are like at the end or like fifth in this, suppose in fifth or sixth. So what will happen, like if current page is greater than total pages minus pages to show. In that particular scenario, it will come here. Suppose if it's 6 minus page to show will be like what it page to show will be like 1 and minus page to show will be like 3 minus 1, it will be like 1. Yeah, so current page will be like okay, like so when it's 6 it will come here and it will be like so total pages minus index, so it will be like we need to minus 1, like 6 minus like 6 5, that way we need. Then what we'll be doing, like we'll just reverse the array and then unshift of 1, that will means like it will go like 1 5 6, so that will be the return array. In all the other scenarios, like suppose if it's a 5, so it will be like a current page 5, then it will be like 5, then 6, and we will be giving unshift 1, means it will read out unshift means this one is going to be placed at the first, so it will go, it will come like 1 5 6. So like so we are making sure like the customers read out line, the last one is 6. So that's all about the grid part, the page indexing part. So you can check these blogs. It is like this is the one which I have followed. There are many other posts. You can make use of it. So that's all. Thank you. Please let me know if you have any questions and comments.